telling stories. It doesn't matter whether you're an attorney or mortgage broker or real estate agent. It's the same thing. You got to tell stories because you're a service business, so people choose based on relationships.
Hi, Dennis. How are you doing?
Good, good. Happy Sunday.
Same to you. How's your day going?
That's good. I'm just chilling, nice and easy, doing a barbecue with some friends.
Oh, nice. Lovely. Dennis, we emailed because when we received the invitation, I don't think we actually read it all the way through. So we didn't see that we had to do the giving you the 6 point or the access.
That's all right. We can do that as a second phase.
Awesome. Thank you so much for understanding.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Is anyone else coming?
No, it's just going to be the three of us. So I'm Jesse Hernandez. I have the law office. Joseph, Anthony.
Here.
Oh, there's Joseph. Hey.
Joseph is our social media manager. And then Jacqueline is our COO.
Oh, all right. There we go. We got the power trio.
There we go. Yeah. I'm going to start calling us that. Oh, no.
Well, cool. Well, I'm going to share my screen.
Awesome.
This is what we call a quick audit, which is looking over things at a high level, giving you some basic feedback. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No, not yet. I'm sure we'll have a lot later.
I think you guys are doing a great job. Your SEO is excellent. Look at this. You rank on 1,300 keywords. Having multiple offices is good. You having these media appearances and being good on social media. I see you guys are posting regularly. That's helping you. Having the English and Spanish obviously helps. You know about the truck accident pieces here. I would say, though, that there's a few small things that you could do that are pretty easy. For example, the terms that are doing well for you, obviously you want the truck accidents. You only have sometimes two or like these ones, you have only 2 or 3 SERP features. You know the whole thing with SERP features?
Not exactly. I remember you talking about that, but I didn't quite understand.
So the way Google has been making these changes is it used to be you wanted to rank in regular search results, but now you can rank in video and the Twitter carousel and news and images and shopping, and people also ask, and top ads, which is, local search ads and other things like that. So Google is shifting from the 10 blue links to showing all kinds of different results for the intent of what people are asking. So you have these terms, which are pretty good, and most of them have been moving up in position, which is excellent. So SEO, I think, is not bad. I would just get a little bit more on the video and social side, so you have multimedia. So a lot of what you have here, like on YouTube, is great. You have these different videos, but as you see with chicken and egg, some of them get more views and some of them don't. I mean, that's certainly nice to do these as YouTube shorts, but what you want to do is turn a lot of these into blog posts and then embed the YouTube videos, so that way you get featured video snippets. Does that make sense?
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So this is great. And even looking at your socials, you've got a lot of great posts like, 7 years ago, I was in Good Morning America. Those are things that you want to repurpose and let run evergreen. So here we can see the ads that you're running on Facebook. I think you have 11 of them. And these are, I totally get it. What like PI is like, we're tough and we represent, you're wearing the suit. But more of these ones that are vertical video that are more interesting. Like this is fine too, where it's like you have a really powerful, a couple of really powerful stories of some verdicts that you got, which is fantastic. I've watched your videos. But imagine if you could repurpose some of those to look more like mobile selfie style.
Okay.
That's what's working right now. And I'm not saying you have to be a TikTok lawyer, right? But just consider the stuff that looks more real and less advertising, less professional camera. You still want to use a microphone to get good sound. But these ones are landscape style, which you could run as a YouTube bumper ad. You could do as a longer form video. But if you want to do stuff on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, it's got to be short form vertical video.
Okay.
These are great stories. They're just in the wrong format. So you're going to get people bouncing faster. And, with stuff like this, you have to start with the hook. You have to get their attention immediately. It's not the typical cinematic, like build up to the story, like what people typically do when, they're writing movies, things like that.
Okay.
So great stories. You just have to repurpose properly for social. Yeah. So looking at these, like this is good. I would boost this. You can boost these posts just to people in San Antonio or Austin. You're in 2 places, right?
And Houston. Yeah, 3.
Okay, 3. Okay. So I boosted these different places.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you have great content. Just let your best ones run evergreen instead of feeling like you have to keep posting every day.
Okay.
You said your social media person's here. Is it Joseph?
Yes.
I get the sense like you feel like you have to keep posting here because there's like current events. It's National Hispanic Heritage Month. Like these are good, but I would ask you to consider, of the things that you've ever posted from even years ago, which of them can you allow to run for like $1 a day forever? Just hitting the geos. That's it. Just to drive engagement, mid funnel too. Like all of these can be turned into simple 15-second, 1-minute style videos like this. Hey, if you've been arrested for a DWI, here's what you need to know, or, this is what you should never say to the police if you get pulled over, these kinds of things. And you can literally make them with your cell phone, like this, saying, hey, if you're ever pulled over for a DWI, here's what you need to know, right? Blah, blah, 1, 2, 3, that's it, right? Or 1 tip, whatever that be. But all of these you can film, you can literally just refilm a lot of these in just a few seconds, and it doesn't have to be wearing a suit and in the courtroom or, that kind of thing. Okay. I spent all day with Daryl Isaacs yesterday. Daryl?
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun. And we were at the Wynn because that's where his Brain Trust Legal Group thing is. And that was the last 2 days. And then yesterday we just hung out and we were making videos. And I was showing him the style because he likes to pretend that he's a non-technical kind of person. He's like a good old boy. So I said, no, I'm going to show you how to make these selfie style videos. So here on my phone, I recorded these with him doing walking, talking style videos, telling a story about how he had, traumatic brain injury and how the doctor said he was never going to walk, but, and they brought out a wheelchair. And he said, get that thing away from me. I'm going to walk, and how he got a $10 million verdict because some other girl saw that because they asked her, why did you choose Daryl Isaacs? Well, because he understands. And he also had a traumatic brain injury. So all these other lawyers are just, whatever. I felt like I could relate to him and stories like that. And just being a little silly, like with Super Bowl commercials and riding the dragon and that, not being like all serious lawyer. I mean, I know he's the hammer. So he's like, yeah, we're tough and we get you the justice you deserve. And, I get that. A lot of PI guys do stuff like that. But just being more human, right?
Okay.
So when you're getting the settlements and verdicts, can you, I get this, you're tough here, right? But can you have short little interviews with not stock art like this, but short little interviews and talking to these folks about their stories and where they're, like the one you did, that one YouTube thing with this dude who's a server and, whatever, he had a DUI, but you helped him out of it and whatever.
Yeah.
Just telling those things that relate as a human, because I think you come off as very personable in these videos, but when you stock art like this, I think that hurts you.
Okay.
And also you're using these bit.ly links, which I understand you want to do for tracking. Don't do that because while that does give you a little more trackability, it significantly reduces your click-through rate because people don't want to click on untrusted links. And then when you use a URL shortener to get the tracking, it goes through an additional hop. So it slows the user down by another 5 or 6 seconds because it has to go through an intermediate link, then to the link to the site or whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't do stuff like this. Have real pictures. Yeah. And I can see you have a template here and that's fine. It's not like you shouldn't, but yeah, these reviews are awesome. And you should just take screenshots of these and saying, oh, thank you so much, so-and-so, so glad that, whatever it is. Just literally taking screenshots and turning those things into posts. So it looks more organic. And you can take your Facebook posts and put them to Google and vice versa. You can just recycle these. So you're doing fantastic on this. A couple things like your listings are strong, but there's a couple minor things. So whoever your web firm is or your marketing firm should probably use Yext or Whitespark or one of these other services to make sure your name, address, and phone are exactly the same. Have you heard of NAP for your listings?
No.
So NAP is is name, address, and phone. So your name, address, and phone have to be exactly the same. So here you have 3107 Broadway ST, and here you have 3107 Broadway. And here you have 3107 Broadway Street. And it's not, here you have triple W, and this one you don't. And here the phone number is formatted slightly differently. So the way that Google and Yelp and Axiom and all the other data companies, directories, Yellow Pages, these guys handle data is they try to match, like, oh, well, this Facebook for the law office of Jesse Hernandez is the same entity as this listing, and Yelp is the same entity, is the same post same review that we see here in this other place. So they use name, address, and phone. NAP is a way to determine that that's the same entity. So if it's not exactly the same, like you would think the search engines and directories are so sophisticated, they would be able to know, but they actually don't. They get confused. So this is a simple fix. And some of these, maybe this is an old address. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right. Some of these aren't here. You don't have to be on every single directory, but there's these services for $10 a month per location that just update the directories for you. Does it make a huge difference? No, but it's, it's worth it just to get a little bit more traffic. Some people will call this signals, where you're trying to send more signals to the search engine. Other people, there's other terms for this to try to make sure your listings are more accurate.
Okay.
Yeah, small thing, but it's digital marketing is nothing but just a bunch of little small things like this. Right? You've got a pretty good score. So we have a report card that scores people just like a college, whatever grading thing, A through F. E-commerce doesn't count because you're not selling things directly, but to consumers. But you're doing pretty well. I just think there's small things that you can do from an SEO standpoint. You can repurpose your content in a different way. You can move on to the other channels, other social channels, and just repurpose the same content, run $1 a day ads, which is something that we teach. Maybe hire someone internally. Maybe hire a VA to do this, which is what we recommend. Someone who works just for you, knows your content, not some agency. Your web provider, this EMSC, is linking to you. That's a no-no. Or I'm sorry, they're linking from their site to you. This is a no-no.
Okay.
That's parasitic. And Google even verified that this doesn't pass juice anymore. So companies that build websites, they would sneak in these things at the bottom of the site or put them everywhere saying, oh, the site built by so-and-so company, and link to themselves. And that did work for about 15 years. And the last 5 years, it hasn't worked. And it's just parasitic. It's just something you shouldn't do.
Okay.
Anyone who builds websites should know you shouldn't do that. I mean, they might try to argue about how, whatever, but they're wrong. Like, this is something anyone who builds websites for a living knows not to do this. This is not even up for argument. Then back to your SEO. So you rank on these 1,400 terms. These are good. But obviously, probation in Texas, truck accident attorney in San Antonio. We'd love to move up a little bit higher. We'd love to get a little bit more traffic. Like this one here, probation in Texas. 300 people a month are searching this, and you get 10 because you're in position 4, or 10%. You get 30 of these 300. That's good, but obviously we want more than that. If you're up in position 1 on this, you might get 110, 120. Truck wreck lawyer. Well, you lost this one. You had 5 SERP features on it. It's medium competitive. The keyword difficulty is at 31. 2,300 people a month are searching this, and now you're not getting any of it. But that's because this URL, I guess, went away on it. Who knows? Well, actually, most of your stuff is coming off of this one truck accident lawyer page. So if we just put a little bit more juice towards this, we would rank higher, and we rank more on related keywords. So whoever wrote this page did a pretty good job, because I can see they're trying to do it from an SEO standpoint by using these headings. Dangers and causes of truck accidents. Okay. Now you're linking to cars, to Jesse Hernandez Law, car accident lawyer. Bullet points and then other in-body links, personal injury, product liability. I get that. And then this is a little bit blatantly obvious for whoever's trying to do your SEO, because they're just straight up trying to say San Antonio this and San Antonio that. I think that you could, I mean, this will still work for now, but Google's going to nail you on doing this because it's obvious this is what you're trying to do. And it's not for the user, it's for the search engine. I mean, come on. San Antonio blood test attorney, San Antonio breath test attorney, San Antonio field sobriety test attorney, San Antonio DMV attorney, San Antonio assault attorney. I mean, come on, right? That's obviously for the search engine. So this is written, SEO companies will hire writers just to do stuff like this. There's nothing wrong with this necessarily, but this is clearly designed for the search engines. It doesn't have the stories of other people in San Antonio that you've helped. And what do you need to know about the trucking companies? And maybe a little video from you. So instead of this picture, like a video along the way, related articles instead of just category links that you have, more inbound links coming in. So this particular page is one of your most powerful pages. It ranks on 55 keywords, this page alone, for your truck accident lawyer page. And it has 53 backlinks, which is not bad. You get 230 searches a month on this one. So here's the links that are coming to this page, truck accident lawyer. Fine law, okay. And some of these other ones that are like, whoever built these links, it's okay. What's the domain rating on these sites? Well, not high, like 0.1, 6, 8, 1.4, 0, 1.5. So someone's submitting articles. I don't know if you guys are doing SEO or someone else is doing it, but it's obvious that someone's trying to do SEO here. Super. Okay. If it's super obvious to me, it's super obvious to the search engines, which isn't necessarily bad, right? Some of these are going to be a little weird. High5biz.com, hire truck accident lawyer for your legal rights. Okay. And here's the one that links to you. These guys here. And you could tell this is just some auto-generated listing that was put in here. And in here, they're also doing beauty salons and dental and healthcare management and heating air conditioners and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, this site doesn't really carry any power anyway because it's a DR9. We'd love to have higher powered links that are coming in, which is one of the main things you're missing. So you're a DR21, domain rating 21, which is low to medium. Most small businesses are like 15 or 20. But I would think, given that you have multiple locations, especially in PI, this should be up into 40s and 50s. Okay. So you have 3,000 links that come into your site that help you rank on these 1,400 keywords. But the total sum power of these 3,000 links is only giving you a 21. So each of these links is passing you a little bit of juice, like a little squirt, a couple drops of juice. And if you have a link from major media, like a CNN or New York Times or the ones that I have, or the sites that I control, then that will carry a lot more power. Like here you have a link from expertise.com on a DR90. So very powerful, very authoritative. It's only linking on the image, and it's 31 best San Antonio car accident lawyers. Like, how many are there anyway? That's cool, but it's being shared among all these other guys. And then the page itself doesn't carry a ton of traffic, and that's good. National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers, okay, 28. So some of these are decent, but you don't have enough higher powered links. And after that, there's just not much. And maybe some of these are like directories that you pay for, or someone was paying for, right? So after that, you just don't have much in terms of link power. So what you need are, the media mentioning you, or you submitting guest blog posts to other attorneys. So whoever your website or SEO person is should be linking between clients on related topics. Of course, in different states, of course, these other guys are not your competitors. So if you have sites like we control, like, this is one of my sites. I have 1 million visitors a month that come to it. It's a free ebook site. Type in free ebooks, we're number one. And this is a DR 74, 8.9 million backlinks. So a blog post here, or repurposing your videos into a blog post or turning it into an ebook so we can link to it from here, would give you a DR74 link. Including if we were to go to, blitzmetrics.com, which is one of our agencies. And this is a 62, is it? 61? 25,000 backlinks. We have a 61, which is super high. It's because every 10 points higher, it's 10 times more powerful, right? So you're 21. So a 21 to a 31 is 10 times more powerful. If you move from a 21 to a 41, you're 100 times more powerful. So this side at a 61 is pretty good, but if you go to like a CNN and like a 91 or whatever, that's, 3 orders of magnitude more powerful. So SEO is all about the amount of juice that you have. So because you have a low amount of juice, you're only able to win on low competitive terms. So these terms, most of these are, the law office of Jesse Hernandez, keyword difficulty of 1. Well, that's pretty easy to rank on. There's no one else competing for that one, right? And then other terms you're trying to rank on that are very competitive. Can a convict vote? Personal injury lawyer in Austin, 67. Well, you were in position 98, which is the bottom of the 10th page because we tracked the first 100 results. So 10 pages. And you were there, but then you lost it, right? And it's $200 a click if you want to buy it on Google, right? So you have content here, but you're just on the more difficult terms. It's tough for you to get traffic. Like here, Texas sex offender list, 58, pretty competitive. And you're in position 79, which doesn't exist. That's on the 8th page, right? Free consultation criminal lawyer. You slip from 57 to 71, but that's because the amount of juice that you have is low coming in. You have just a 21, right? So if we can raise this to like a 31, you can rank on more competitive terms, but that means we need to get more links of higher power. Now, whoever's doing your SEO is generating links. So I took a look at the links to see if they've been building links, getting links for you, and they have. So if we come in here and we look at First Scene, they're building links all the time. Like here, these links were first seen this 45 minutes ago. They did a directory listing, chooselocalbusiness.com. Okay. Newly published on some WordPress site. All good lawyers. Okay. Looks like another directory, no follow. So there's links that were built yesterday. So whoever's doing your SEO is doing an okay job. They're just building kind of low quality links, like and that's what a lot of SEO people do. Just because it's scale, it's hard to build real links, because it requires relationships and all that. It's just easier to just mass directory submit like these kinds of things here, which do help. And if you're going after low competitive terms, then why not? It works. See? Top 10 best UI lawyers in San Antonio on lawyer honoring COVID caregivers.org with the DR6. Okay. And this came in on September 16th. Okay. Well, great. Anyway, we go on and on. Like, I think you're doing an okay job.
So if I understood correctly, you were mentioning like if we get mentions in local websites, that could help us as well. Is that what you were
especially if it's in San Antonio, it's a San Antonio real estate agent or an organization or a charity that you're involved with, and you submit a guest blog post, which is a way to get a link. And in that post, you link to yourself, but not just not hammering people with links like San Antonio DUI, San Antonio criminal defense, San Antonio, sex offender or whatever. Mm-hmm. If you do it in a natural way, include some pictures, maybe put a video in there, a bunch of other San Antonio businesses that are not PI, and you honor them in the community and you tag them on Facebook, or you make a little 1-minute video and put that on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And other personal injury attorneys that are in other states, you cross link between different articles on the same topic. that helps you, right?
And then also you mentioned turning like our videos that we have, our content that exists already into blog posts.
Mhm.
Is there anything in particular that we need to do for that? Like, is it just the text in the video, or should we be including something else for like SEO purposes?
Anytime you have a blog post, you want to have different kinds of rich media. So you'd like to include an image, you'd like to embed a YouTube video that's from your channel.
Okay.
Just to send the signal. Some people will call it Google stacking, which is like try to use all these Google things, like try to, cross post it to Google My Business, try to put it on Google Pages, which is their website building kind of tool. It just helps you out. But I think the biggest thing is as you're collecting these stories, every time you get a settlement, you present the check, then you want to make a little video. Like have the case manager make a 30-second video. Instead of taking a picture with the check or whatever, just make a 30-second selfie video, obviously with the microphone. But with your iPhone, it's just fine. But with the microphone, so you have good sound.
Yeah.
And you're honoring these other people. You're not trying to say, we got so-and-so a $2.1 million, settlement or like that. I mean, you can do that, but I think the more you humanize across just a broad range of clients, and people can see that you're there for the people and you're there, helping them get justice, and the big bad insurance company is, is trying to pay you very little, or, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. That's the part that just from looking at your stuff seems missing, because it looks like there's someone using these templates and mostly putting pictures, and whoever's doing the posting, which I think is Joseph, is maybe you don't have that content. So you're just posting that, you're just working with what you have.
Gotcha. So the 30-second videos that you're talking about, would that be a blog post as well, or something just for something?
Yeah. Those things you can literally, a blog post. A lot of people say, a blog post has got to be 500 words and it needs to be, X number of paragraphs. Like, it doesn't have to have any of that. You just, like, a blog post today can be just a picture. It can be just a video. It can be just 3 sentences. Right.
Okay.
Especially if it's on WordPress and use the, tags and categories, the right way, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, if just looking over all the different areas of digital for you, a few small things for SEO to get higher powered links, creating video that is selfie style that you can repurpose, which will help you with SEO and social, especially if you run ads against it, which you're not. And some really small things like improving your listings. But other than that, I think you're doing pretty decently from a digital standpoint. I think ads would be your biggest piece there, running lead ads. Maybe you're running lead ads, but I didn't see them there. TikTok lead ads is the same as Facebook lead ads, with PI, local search ads. LSA used to be amazing, but it's become so competitive now that, it's not really as good as it used to be. So you've got to shift into social. And the ads component will work well if you get this kind of content that works well, especially to Hispanic audiences, lower income. Their cell phone is their computer, so you have to reach them on their cell phone, which means vertical video, not the landscape stuff you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you have great stories. Your reviews and your reputation are excellent. Obviously, you're getting way more traffic in San Antonio than Houston or Austin. There's things that we could do in those cities as well. There's things that you could do with city pages a little bit more. So Houston and Austin times DUI, car wreck, motorcycle, truck, all of those things. There's more content you could put out there. But I think if you produce if you have a video first strategy, that will drive your blogging strategy, because then you just transcribe the video and embed the YouTube, put it on YouTube and embed the YouTube there. Run some YouTube ads just in those 3 cities. That's easy to do. Most attorneys are not running on YouTube, and most people in general are not. Like, YouTube is the sleeper here because YouTube has so much traffic. It's so easy to get people because when people are on YouTube, they're watching, they're not just scrolling past you. You have great stories. It's got to get more stuff into YouTube, especially YouTube Shorts, which is basically the same thing as what you put on TikTok and Facebook.
Okay.
I think the shift to social will help you in all ways, especially if you run ads, you repurpose, film it the right way, right? We have courses and all that. Happy to give you all that.
Okay.
And we have agencies that do this as well. I coach a ton of agencies. So it's whatever you guys want to do. And you have this report. People put this together for you. You have this call where I walk through these different components so you can watch some of the parts maybe where, I said some acronym or whatever and you want to look it up.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, I think you guys are doing great. There's always room though.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely sounds like there's a lot of room for improvement for us. So
Awesome.
So what do you think? What can we do for you? Or how can we help?
the vast majority of this, we definitely want to outsource because we're pretty jam-packed here in the office.
Yeah.
So which of this or what of this can you help us with?
So two things. One is we have a package that we call the conversion engine, which is doing most of the things that we're talking about here. So it's kind of a little bit of everything. And I think it'd be good for you guys to do that just for 90 days, just to let us get some basic things. I can see some of your tracking isn't there. Some stuff with Google Analytics and moving to, GA4 and having tag managers set up properly. Some of these things just kind of need to be just done right in place. It's not some ongoing sort of thing. And while we do that, I would highly recommend hiring a couple virtual assistants that are just for you, that just work on repurposing your content. You could hire people in America. I get this whole thing like, well, I want to hire Americans, or I want to hire from the local university, or I want to hire professionals that, we're paying them 60, 70, 80 grand a year to do digital marketing, which is fine. I get that. What I found though, is it's hard to get these people to stay in these roles. They'll stay a few months and then they go work at another agency, or they start their own agency. I'm just a really big fan of, and the reason why I like the Philippines and Pakistan and Kosovo, these other places so much, is not because they're cheap. It's because you can invest in them where they learn your content and they stay and they learn your process and all those sorts of things. So I would recommend the long-term strategy is let's hire up a team of 2 or 3 VAs, and, they could even help with intake or reception or, social media stuff. And I can imagine Joseph, you're doing the social media stuff, and what percent of it honestly is stuff that really could be done by a VA that really doesn't require your brain power? You should manage a team of VAs. You should not be the VA. If you don't have a VA, guess who the VA is, Joseph?
Me.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if you want to be, there's no shame in being a VA. I'm the world's highest paid VA. But there's things that are just not worth your time. They need to happen. You guys need to focus on getting more cases and making content, so Jesse, you can focus on the relationships, like what Daryl does. Daryl texted me 5 times during our call right here. Holy moly, what is he doing? What does Daryl want to do? Daryl's crazy. Anyway, that guy, he gives out his cell phone number to everybody. I don't know how he showed me his phone yesterday. The screen time thing?
Yeah.
It shows 19 hours a day on average of screen time.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
He
Wow.
sleeps 4 hours a day. So I said, you must take this thing into the bathroom too, if you're even getting that many hours. He's like, no, that's what I do. I can't. First thing, I wake up in the middle of the night to pee 3 or 4 times, and I'm telling you too much. And he checks his phone and he's responding to people, and sometimes he'll get $1 million case in the middle of the night because you don't know when these things come in. And I'm like, wow, all right. I get it. Yeah, you want the $1 million cases, but man, dude, you gotta take care of your health. Can't be on. Anyway, get rid of all the VA stuff. That's what I've been telling Daryl. We're going to get him a bunch of VAs. There's a bunch of stuff. I mean, he likes to manage the relationships and his calendar and stuff like that. So I get that. But a lot of this other stuff, you just got to get that stuff onto the VAs. And you know what? The VAs are happy and they're willing to do this sort of thing, especially repetitive sorts of things that you and I don't want to do.
Okay.
So that's my recommendation. Short term, let's get this conversion engine package, $2,500 a month. Let's go for 3 months, 4 months. We're hitting the holidays, so, we'll see. It might be a little slower, but that'll get our basic stuff in place. Then I would love to see Joseph, and maybe you have some other marketing person on your team, get trained up with us, get access to all of our courses while we hire up a couple of VAs for you, and we'll help you find them. And that way you have your team. And technically I own a bunch of agencies and I've made a lot of money doing agency stuff. But I believe that agencies are dinosaurs and everything is moving towards stuff being in-house because of the tools, because of VAs, because Google, Facebook, and TikTok see agencies as a middleman that create too much friction, that are incompetent. The agencies can't keep up with what's going on. Agencies are just getting squished, So the good agencies should realize that and not hold the attorneys hostage with some monthly fee where you're not really sure what you're getting. Whoever's doing your SEO, they're doing a decent job. I'm curious what you're paying and what the expectation is, what kind of reporting they're giving you. But I think you could take that all in-house because they're not doing anything special. Yeah, they're generating links. They're probably sending you a report every month. You could take that in-house and do it way better, especially once we remove the voodoo. There's no voodoo. I built the analytics of a search engine. You can't fool me. I coach thousands of agencies. A lot of people in the world of SEO, at the top people in the world of SEO, ask me for help. In 3 minutes, as you can see, in 3 minutes, I can pick apart what's going on in the site and see exactly what's going on.
Do you have something that lists what is included in the conversion package that you were mentioning?
Yep, we do.
Okay. Yeah, if you could email that to us for sure.
I'll show you. Here it is. There's 6 phases that we go through, and I'll give you access to all the courses, so you can read through all the details here. But we get your, help you edit these videos, help you repurpose. As your VAs will start to do it, we'll do it first. But you see these 6 phases. First phase is plumbing, which is all the tracking. This is necessary as initial first phase because nobody has it right. They never do. They say they do, but they don't. And then, like, how many goals? How many cases are you getting? How many calls are going to voicemail? How well is your intake performing? So we can make sure, or how many searches and clicks are we getting from Google My Business? So if we have the tracking in place, we can measure the goals. Then the content that you have, including content you've already made, how do we repurpose that? How do we make more content against what's already winning? Targeting we don't do anymore because Facebook and Google and TikTok took all that away from us, because the system will just optimize towards engagement and towards leads and that kind of thing. Amplification is $1 a day. So $1 a day on Facebook, Twitter. We can include YouTube, TikTok, all these guys. It's all local, right? It's like the digital's the online billboard now. And then the ongoing optimization, which is actually the most important part of all of these pieces, because that's the ongoing tuning. A lot of people think analytics is delivering a report every month, which a computer can generate mindlessly. But optimization requires an expert to look at this and say, well, we need to spend more money here, or this particular content's performing better than another piece. Jesse, we need you to say this thing about motorcycle accidents, right? So all of this stuff is here. We just put it all as one simple package, $2,500 a month, keep it simple. Behind all of these is training. So if you want to know how exactly we do any one of these things, they're all here. So you can knock yourself out. There's 118 courses in here. Wow. So there's nothing we have that is not, everything we do is also a course. And everything that's a course is what we do. And that way, there's never any issue about like, well, how exactly do you run ads? Well, go take our ads and go through, like, the people that are running your ads went through the certification to learn how to do all this kind of stuff, right? Digital plumbing, which is that first phase that I just showed you. Here's what happens in digital plumbing. Here's how you want to know how to do it. There's a whole book with it. There's these different modules. They literally go through. We'll give you access to all this, right? So we're very serious about implementation that has to be tracked to, this is exactly how you do it. And we set the industry standard for everybody on how to do this. There's never a question.
And since we are only doing this I'm guessing that we're starting with the 90 days. We only have access to that for 90 days?
You have access to for a year. It changes all the time.
Okay.
My hope would be that you see that we have all this training, and there's some training that you would need as a COO from managing the business. Mm-hmm. And there's training that's more for like the VAs.
Okay.
And a lot of probably like 70% of the training is for the VAs. Like, you want to know how to do a landing page. You want to know how to distribute internal link equity. You want to know how to edit things in a certain way. And it's good for you to see that, at least just to know how it's being done. But you don't want to be like, we don't want Joseph to be the one who's doing these ongoing, repetitive, low-level tasks. I mean, these are tasks that need to be done, and you want to know how they're being done, and you want to see that there's a one-pager checklist for everything we do, which there is, so you can QA it to determine if it was done. But we put all that training out there so that you running the law firm, the business of the law firm, understand, here's all the things that have to happen. But then you can supervise the workers, and the workers are doing that. So that's why we have so many courses. Most of them are for the workers. So you'll have access to that. And then my hope, and this, I see this all the time, is that you're going to start with a couple of VAs. And as you see your marketing improves, you're going to hire more VAs. And it's great. You know, you go from a $6 million firm to a $10 million firm to a $20 million firm, and you're going to put more into marketing,
Okay.
which means more VAs and more ad dollars.
Awesome. Dennis, we've never worked with VAs before. Would you be able to help us find the right VAs for this?
We will help you find VAs. We are very good about finding VAs. We have all the training and the screening of the VAs. We'll find different ones and let them try out, and you'll see the quality of their work. And if you like them, then they become your VA. And if you don't like that VA, we'll give you another VA.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's kind of like dating, you know, you might have to go on a few dates. That's how I can't guarantee that the first girl you date is the one you like, but hey. But it's creating jobs. Our whole mission is to create jobs. The reason why I retired 20 years ago, we're doing this to create jobs. Our mission is to create 1 million jobs. We're a quarter of the way there. We have a long way to go. And the more people understand that you can't just get there through software, that you actually have to have these VAs that are doing these menial, low-level kinds of things, then that's the way forward. You know, someone's got to process the content. It's just like having a receptionist and intake people. Like, I consider all those VA kinds of roles. The attorneys don't want it. You don't want case managers doing stuff like that. You don't want the marketing director doing that, but it's still got to be done. So I'll put the link, blitzmetrics.com/CEP. That's the link for the package. And you can, you know, look at every part of the training, look at exactly how we do the stuff, ask questions. Or if you guys are kind of DIY, I mean, I heard you say, or Jesse say that you guys are swamped, but there's a lot of the smaller firms are like, oh, wow, he's giving away all the training and the checklist and how he's doing everything. Like, we're just going to download all that. And like, go for it. You can become a VA. I'm pretty sure your time's worth more than $3 an hour, but you can do that too, right?
Okay, awesome. So what do next steps look like?
Next steps, check out at that link I gave you to start the conversion engine package. And then you're going to see us create a project inside Basecamp. Basecamp is our project management system. We're going to need you to designate one person who is your single point of contact. Now, you guys could all be involved in different parts, but we need one person who's making sure that stuff happens, because we can't be chasing people down. And we don't want to copy everyone and everything, because then it becomes just inefficient. So we need one person on your team who's Johnny on the spot, who's on top of all these details. Initially, it can seem a little bit overwhelming because there's a bunch of setup things that we need to do. But once we get past that setup phase, you're going to see us do a second phase audit. So what we did with the quick audit, which is what we did just now, is a quick audit. We're going to do a proper audit and come up with a list of specific tasks that we recommend. If you agree, then we will do them. And some of them we can just do with your approval. And some of them require a little something from you, like a video or something. Okay. Or, you know, or permission to repurpose a video into a blog post, or other things that we do for SEO or for social. Or maybe you guys aren't on TikTok or Twitter, but we want to set that up just to be able to collect the tracking, whether or not we're running ads there or not, whether or not you feel ready to be there. We just want to cover all the other channels. Step through, it's right there. Here, let me just go back to the page. Oh, actually, this is the digital plumbing course, which is this is the course. You can learn how to do it, but the first phase, we're going to do it for you anyway. But at least you know what we're going to do. This is the package. This tells you what's going to happen. Here's the checklist. We're going to make your 3x3, which is your very best videos. 3 top of funnel, 3 mid funnel, 3 bottom of funnel. Cross post it. Generate more web pages on your site that are linked to your YouTube channel, which create more signals. Some people call them citations. And create a content library that we can recycle content across all the different social networks. Your YouTube is pretty good. We'll get your YouTube verified, which is nice, getting the blue check. Nice. And other sorts of things. And this won't happen right away, but we'll get that for you as one of these things. And here's the timeline. It tells you what happens in the first few days, what happens a little bit further, ongoing reporting. Yeah, all this, all the courses that are part of it. And we'll bring in VAs along the way as we go, recommend some for you. When they become your VA, they're on your payroll and you hire them. They're your people.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. Pretty straightforward. Month to month, there's no contract. We'll give you an account manager. You always have access to me too.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Yeah. Anything else you guys need? You ready?
I think we're ready. Yeah.
Well, good. Well, while you do that, I'm going to go grill some steak.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
I hope to see you guys in San Antonio too. Align Mortgage is a client of ours.
We were just in one of their old buildings recently. We shot a podcast over there.
Oh, who'd you shoot it with?
With AJ. He's a realtor, but he uses their building.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. We coached their whole team on how to make 1-minute videos and do $1 a day and all that. So it's key because you got to tell the stories of the veterans, right? If you don't tell the stories, I mean, they do a lot of the education and they bring people in for these events and all that, but telling stories, it doesn't matter whether you're an attorney or mortgage broker or real estate agent. It's the same thing. You got to tell stories because you're a service business. So people choose based on relationships.
Awesome.
That's the bottom line. Everything you see, what we're doing, it looks technical, but if you just remove all the technical stuff we're talking about, it's super straightforward what we're doing. Let's capture these relationships in a very natural cell phone like way, and then just push it across Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google, like all that. That's all we're doing. Just put it across all the channels. That's what this whole package is about. That's what SEO has now become.
All right, Dennis, thank you so much. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy those steaks.
Pleasure, guys. We'll have a good weekend.